$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. Demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defied the seat of justice. It's defiled, right? See, I can't see it very well. Okay, I'll do this. I'm going to do this. Let's go.
It was an amazing phone call I made. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan, and it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest. And I just spoke to my people.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs, so it was training them to watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Hello, users! Hi. I have a situation here with a Max dog who's currently woofing around me. Max, why are you woofing around? What are you woofing around for? Oh. Oh. Alright, there he goes. All right. Got a show going on today. It's a routinely scheduled program. Today. So I've got a show. And it's happening. This is the Above It All program. Hello, everybody. It's the Above It All program. Today is Saturday, bro. And on Saturday I do a show. Is normally the scheduled approach. For Saturday is I do a show. And so there you go. Bear with me, by the way. Yesterday I engaged in drug usage, temporary hiatus from my otherwise scheduled sobriety, and I engaged in some drug usage, and so I'm not 100% today. I'm more like 113%. And so, took a day off yesterday, and I feel recharged. I feel refreshed. And other words that start with re. So, got a show going on today. Today is the program. I'm going to be talking about a couple of things. And then once I'm done with the things, going to be things, and then, you know how people do this? I'm not actually going to touch the paper with that, but I'm going to, yeah. So anyway, I got things right here, and then we got some stuff underneath. Okay. All right, so we got some stuff, and we're going to be jumping in. We're going to jump the fuck in. You might notice the camera's at a little bit of an angle. That's because I don't actually have a flat desk. There's a little fun fact for y'all. I use a folding table as a desk. And the folding table has like the fold part in the middle. And so right now it's like got a slight slant because of that. Because I shifted the camera a little bit. And so now I'm experimenting. I want to see if people enjoy like the slight uncomfortable angle. I'm trying to introduce some cinematography to this show. Some cinematography. I could make it even more. Yeah, look at that. So, some cinematography to the program. Whoa. Come on. Alright. And, to the program. So we're doing a program today. Going to be talking about, all kinds of things. Today. Max. So Max dog here. I'm getting vertigo. Oh god. Specifics, well, it says things right here. And once again, underneath the things I have 11, no wait, that was yesterday actually. Hold up. $12.45 stuff. All right, yeah. So at around for now, I'm gonna be doing some things, and then around 12:45, we're gonna switch into the stuff portion of the program. And so there you go. First up, we're gonna be jumping in, y'all. We're jumping in. So everyone, prepare to jump in. First up on the show, I want to talk about beta males. That's right. You might be wondering, whoa, beta males already? Let me finish my morning coffee before we get started on beta males. But that's right, folks. We're going to be jumping in. We're going to be talking about beta males today. And first up on the list, Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom will not challenge Joe Biden in 2024, says he is all in on president's re-election. California Governor Gavin Newsom is dismissing speculation that he may challenge President Biden for the Democratic nomination in 2024, reportedly telling POTUS himself that he is all in on Biden's re-election. In an interview with Politico, Newsom sought to tamp down speculation that he may run for president after what the outlet said was a considerable irritation from the White House at rumors he was plotting to oust Biden. I've told everyone in the White House, from the chief of staff to the first lady, he said, saying his message is, I'm all in, count me in on Biden's re-election. Talk of a potential Newsom 24 bid has fired up in recent months amid growing concern from Democrats about Biden's health, age, and low approval ratings. Fears how Biden would fare in a 2024 fight against former President Donald Trump or Florida Governor Ron DeSantis had led some Democrats to begin looking for a potential replacement. Now, led some Democrats led every Democrat to begin looking for a potential replacement, replace potential with nothing. Just remove that word, and you've got a better sentence. Newsom's name has been floated as a possible option. Now, again, I'm all in on Bernie 24, but I'm also all in on literally anybody challenging Joe Biden. Joe Biden should not run for president again. First of all, Joe Biden ran for president saying he'd be a transitionary figure. Now, he never outright, to my knowledge, said he wouldn't run for a second term, but he said his goal was to be a transitionary figure. Well, mission accomplished, Jack. Now go the fuck away. Now, again, my opinion is people should run against Joe Biden, but ultimately, my opinion is that Joe Biden should step down. Now, I thought theoretically, if anyone would have the balls to run against Joe Biden, I thought maybe Gavin Newsom would. I can't think of anyone else that would theoretically run against Joe Biden. Everyone else, including Bernie himself, has said he would only run again, theoretically, if Joe Biden stepped down. But I figured, you know what? Newsom seems like the kind of guy that might try to, and I say anyone's better than Joe Biden. That's my opinion. But it turns out we were wrong, and we've got to add another body to the list of confirmed beta males. The concern is likely dissipated somewhat after a stronger than expected performance by Democrats in the November midterms would likely dissipated. Has there been a poll yet? I think most Americans understand that Democrats are better than Republicans, but that doesn't mean that Americans like Joe Biden. Like, do Democrats not understand that they're the lesser evil? Like, I mean, I know, right? You don't want to say, oh, yeah, I'm evil, but I'm less evil. I know they don't want to market that. I know they don't want to say that. But, like, deep down, they know they're the lesser evil, right? They know no one likes them, right? They're aware of that, right? Right? They know that people aren't voting for Democrats because they like them. They know that they're voting for them because they don't like Republicans even more. They know that, right? I don't know. I hope they do. Anyway, Biden said in a post-election press conference that his intention to run for re-election and that he will make a final decision by early next year. Well, I hope he says no. But again, now to be clear, I don't like either of these people. My opinion is I just really don't like Joe Biden. And Gavin Newsom, again, probably politically speaking, pretty similar to Joe Biden. On policy, pretty similar. I don't know. Maybe he's worse, but probably pretty similar, right? But the thing I know about Gavin Newsom is he's made advertisements, he's made videos, and he's made statements calling Republicans out for being scumbags. Now, I don't know if he's ever called them scumbags, but he goes after Republicans. Joe Biden, on the other hand, I mean, maybe a little recently he's been going after Republicans, but even when he does go after Republicans, it's, it's not, I don't know, man. Like, again, it's not that great. Though, I've seen Gavin Newsom do some pretty good statements when it comes to how crazy Republicans are. And really, I don't care. I want a Democrat, obviously someone like Bernie Sanders who's good on policy, but also someone, unlike Bernie Sanders, who's good on strategy. Bernie Sanders, like him or hate him, pretty fucking garbage when it comes to strategy in winning elections. Let's be honest, right? That's his huge downfall. That's his big issue, is that he's too nice. So, again, I would support policy over strategy. That said, again, if we're talking every candidate has shitty policy, I'll take the one who's willing to go all in the most. And that's what I anticipate Gavin Newsom to be until now. And now I know he's a beta male. So, sorry. Back down to 0 you go. I agree with you, Mila. For sure. Mallory Morrow, Democrat, Michigan Senate. All right. I'll look into it. Folks, I'd like to announce that today I will be bringing back movie reviews. Now, I will say I have been watching movies over the last couple of weeks. I haven't been doing movie reviews. I took a break after the Spook 6 UR event. But today, I will bring back a movie review. I watched a film while on magic mushrooms that I will discuss and recommend to everybody in approximately an hour, because we got to go through some news. Some news? Some? Huh? Anyone? No? Okay. Anyway, so got a show going on. Black Friday yesterday. Black Friday? Now, again, I think we did take bets in my chat. How many people would be shot? How many people would be killed? Now, again, I haven't seen a final tally yet, but I've got one example of Black Friday violence right here. 2 men shot and taken to hospital. An incident at Greenville Mall. Police were on the scene after 2 men were shot inside Greenville Mall on Friday. Greenville police officials said they received the call at around 6:30 p.m. of shots fired at the mall. Police said they found 2 men injured inside, near the area of American Eagle. Preliminary information indicated there was a dispute, and the 2 victims were shot by another person. Both individuals were taken to ECU Health Medical Center. It was unclear the extent of the injuries. An active search was underway to find the suspect, who fled the scene. Police did not say whether any other people were involved and if the search was just for one suspect. It was not a random act. David Bowen with the Greenville Police Department said, there was a dispute. This was a dispute that occurred in the mall. So fortunately, nobody else was injured. What were they disputing on Black Friday in the mall, I wonder? And we're working with, like I said, mall management. I'm also thankful for the response by blah, 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 blah. The mall was quickly evacuated and there were no additional injuries. A number of police officers and detectives were inside the mall Friday night conducting an investigation and collecting evidence. it was unclear when the mall would reopen. The incident happened on Black Friday, which is considered the busiest shopping day of the year. Before the shooting, the mall and parking lot were full of shoppers taking advantage of deals that were going on inside. The area was quickly cleared and crime tape was put up. Imagine this, you're trying to buy yourself, or you're trying to buy your fucking stupid dumb fuck kid some dumb fuck toy that they're going to throw away within a couple weeks. And then some dumb motherfucker shoots someone else, and now the store is closed. Like, do you think they checked everyone out before they closed down? Like, I'm sure, you know, you ever sit in line on Black Friday? You know? Imagine you're sitting in line, some goofballs in aisle 6 start shooting each other, and then now you can't get your dumb fuck stupid ass child their stupid fucking piece of plastic dumb fuck toy. I'd be pissed. I go out of my way to leave the house to catch COVID to get the stupid ass toy, and then some goofballs go ahead and shoot each other, and now I'm fucked. That's sad. So anyway, I'm sure there's more about this, but this is, you know, a little bit of what I saw. You know, I'm sure more stuff will come out. But I've also seen reports that Black Friday was a little underwhelming this year in comparison to previous years. I'd like to say maybe 1 million dead motherfuckers had something to do with it. Think about it. 1 million dead motherfuckers. Who's most likely to die from COVID? People that leave the house. Who's more likely to go out on Black Friday? People that leave the house. I don't know. Am I allowed to say that? 1 million dead motherfuckers from COVID? Maybe that's why Black Friday isn't as much of a thing as it used to be. I don't know. Or maybe all those reports saying Black Friday I read reports, thin crowds, not as packed as they were used to. I don't know. Just consider it. Think about it. I don't know. Either way, my opinion, people that go out for Black Friday, on the list of people that I don't care if they die from COVID, Black Friday shoppers. I say, let's have a couple more Black Friday, Black Saturday, Black Sunday. Let's get rid of these guys. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, there you go. So that's that. WNCT9 on your side. Local news. I love when local news does that shit. Like, yeah, we're on your side. Really? Are you? Like, local news just like reprints police like reports as fact, but they're on our side? Oh shit, I had no idea. Oh Christ. Girls4.xyz. Hot girls for you. Wow, for me? Thanks. I appreciate it. Could use a couple of hot girls here. Spice up my thumbnails a little bit, you know, get some more clicks on my videos. So thanks for that. Got a want to talk more about the Club Q shooting, which to my knowledge was approximately a week ago. I've talked about on my show a lot of the reactions to the Club Q shooting. A lot of the people that sowed the seeds of the Club Q shooting. The father of the shooter, total fucking psycho, first reaction was, just glad my kid's not gay. Proud of teaching his kid to be violent as a child, bragged about it on television. So that's the kind of environment this guy was born and raised in. But that shooter's dad also said that they were Mormon, they were religious. Well, a lot of people love to tell minorities that religious people are actually great. How dare I criticize religious people? How dare I? What about the good ones? What about the good religious people? My opinion, again, is, of course, there are no good religious people. No such thing. But there are definitely bad religious people and worse religious people. That I can tell you for a fact. Right? Not all religious people are equally as ridiculous and disgusting and evil. But sometimes, every once in a while I see some religious nutbags out there and I'm like, fuck, that's some crazy shit. So in the category of fuck, that's some crazy shit, I present to you this fucking guy.
That club got shut
Hold up, I gotta fucking fix Ryan Grimm's audio because this guy is apparently not a professional. Hold the phone here.
up the other day. Now, am I sad that 5 homos got shot? No, I'm not sad at all. As a matter of fact, I think it's a good thing that they're not here anymore to molest kids. And I'm not condoning anybody to do anything like that. I don't believe it's...
Now, once again, the largest group of child molesters, religious people, throwing that out there.
right to take the law into our own hands, and I've said that so many times. But here's what I won't be upset about. I'm not going to be upset when someone that hates God and actively is promoting against God and hates his guts and molests children, even if it...
Just throwing this out there. God is omnipotent. God is like an all-powerful being. But he has guts? How can I hate God's guts? Does God even have a body? If God doesn't have a body, how the fuck does he have guts? Anyway, let me rewind this shit, because this is getting a little nutso. It's a little crazy.
Is promoting against God and hates his guts and molests children, even if it is just their eyeballs, to have to see these freaks writhing around.
So again, that's the get out of jail free card. Even if it's with their eyeballs. That's the get out of jail free card. Because what he's doing is he's calling every LGBTQ person a pedophile and a child molester. But in order to walk it back slightly, right, instead of saying, oh, I know not all of them are child molesters. No. He's saying every single queer person, including myself, apparently, I had no idea, is a child molester. But most of them just molest children with their eyeballs. Yeah, that's right. And now again, that's the God shit. That's the magical thinking. That's faith. This is faith. This is what faith gets you. Once you're open to believing in things without evidence, once you're open to believing in magical stories without evidence, right? Why not? Yeah, they're child molesters with their eyeballs. There's no proof. I have no evidence, but I'll say it anyway. Why not?
And doing all these crazy dances in front of children. And then afterwards reading them.
Doing crazy dances in front of children? Like cheerleaders? At a football game? Crazy dances in front of children? What? What does that mean? What are these crazy dances that are going on?
A book or something. I said it's not.
What? Wait, I'm sorry. Pause that in the middle.
Doing all these crazy dances in front of children. And then afterwards reading them a book or something. I said it's not right to take the law into your own hands, but I do understand why people are so fed up, because our own government is protecting these freaks, and that's all you see on the media.
Is the government protecting freaks? Last time I checked, pedophilia and child molestation is illegal. Last time I checked. Who's the most notorious child predator in the country? Jeffrey Epstein. Who is Jeffrey Epstein friends with? Religious people? Right-wingers. Last time I checked, raping a child is illegal. So, maybe, just maybe, the government's not protecting child molesters. Maybe, just maybe, not everyone you dislike is a child molester. Is it possible? Might be, I don't know. Now, once again, I've said this before. These fake reports of pedophilia and grooming and child molesting, what this does is it makes it actually much more difficult to track down child sex trafficking, child molestation, because law enforcement agencies that deal with child sex trafficking and deal with these kinds of crimes, they're inundated with fake reports. So, and they have to follow all of them up because you never know if the fake report that you get that sounds fake is going to be the one real one, right? So, but what it means is they have less time to go investigate real reports. They have less time to investigate actual reports of child molestation, which means any of the real reports. Now, let's imagine this, right? You got 8 reports of child molestation, right? Then, all of a sudden, some QAnon freak says that there is a queer person spotted in that city, and now the 8 reports skyrocket to 516? Now, let's say, right, by the time that the agency is starting to investigate it, there's 8 real reports, and there's 508 fake reports. By the time they get to the real 8 reports, those people are going to be long gone. Those people are going to be much more difficult to track. Again, so the stated goal of these people is to combat child sex trafficking, pedophilia, etc., grooming. But the actions, and this is again, actions speak louder than words. Actions are more important than whatever you say. Their actions make it so that there are more child molesters. Now again, the biggest institution that has defended child molestation, religion. Right? So again, let's keep going though.
Right now, right-wing MAGA kills, these queers, and then some guy jumped in and helped them or whatever. Who cares?
Some guy jumped in or helped them or whatever? What?
I really don't care that those people got killed. And you're like, that sounds really hateful, Pastor. Well, it is hateful because I do hate them. Because they're a menace and a wart on the rear end of society. Amen. And there's nothing redeeming about them whatsoever. Listen, we're in America. We can say whatever we want. And I'm not inciting violence, so don't even try to go there.
Again, actions speak louder than words. When you go out there and tell a bunch of religious nutbags that these people hate God and should be killed, and then say, bro, I'm not inciting violence, like... But this is who we're dealing with. These are religious people, just so you know. And if you want to tell me, I met someone down the street from where I grew up, and their grandma is religious, and she was super nice to me and gave me a lollipop when I was in 7th grade, and I was playing with her grandson and after school. I don't give a fuck. Go shut the fuck up. There is no such thing as a good religious person. There's bad religious people, and there's worse religious people. That's it. They're all fucking crazy, all right? I'm not taking the chances. If I meet someone who's religious, every interaction I'm going to have with them is going to be with a 10-foot pole in front of me. Why? Because you never know when they're going to fucking do something crazy. You just never know. You just never know. I've had way too many experiences with these so-called good religious people where some major news story happens, they read it, and now they hate the queers again. You never know. They go to church one day and their pastor or whatever the fuck says something crazy and they're like, maybe I do hate the queers. You never know. They could snap just like that. So I say, fuck that shit. I'm staying far the fuck away from religious people. I mean, can you blame me? Can you blame me when this is who we're dealing with? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Anyway, a little crazy. What are you going to do? Fucking separate but equal is so good. Separate but equal. I love it. Oh. Yeah. We're separated because we can't be together. But don't worry, everybody. We're equal. What's the deal with civil unions and marriage anyway? Like, what is the difference? Let's be honest. What is the fucking difference? There is no difference. Let's be real. Now, again, I prefer equality, right? Use the same word for all groups. But I'm not going to be a motherfucker that's going to go out there and say, oh, I care so much about the label that is associated with the largest institution of pedophilia, child sex trafficking, and child molestation called marriage. It's a religious label. It's a religious word. I care so much. I don't give a shit about it. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm sorry. But anyway, I understand why that's an important distinction, though. But still, it's very funny. Oh, man. This is some good coffee, y'all. I'm on my second cup of coffee for the day. Well, it's more like the 1.5th. 1.5th? How do I say that? It's my 1.5th cup of coffee. Because when it was like a third full, I refilled it. Maybe not a third, I don't know. 1.6th cup of coffee? I don't know. But that's what I'm on. Great value Colombian, you bet. Goddamn, I love how Walmart's like brand is called Great Value. Talk about manipulating the English language. Yeah, the cheapest shit in the world. I know what we'll do. We'll say it's great value. I think both, Fun P. They act crazy because they know they can, and they know that the tides of history are going away from them, and they're going to do whatever they can to reverse course. And they could win. I mean, people love to say that the younger generations are going to save us, but I see no evidence of that at all. At all. I've met a lot of young people. A lot of young people are fucking stupid. So, again, I think younger generations more likely on average to be better politically. But that's not necessarily set in stone. I mean, look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump started a whole movement where he steered young people into like right-wing fairy tale land. So, now again, not all of them, but hey, a good number of them. I'm just saying, I think it's fallacious thinking to think that like Gen Z is going to save our country. And that, I think that that's just fallacious thinking. It's the arrival fallacy. Rising at a both sides segment on trans-related healthcare. That's great. Are they going to have a both sides segment on cancer treatment for children? Are they going to have a both sides segment on children who go through early puberty, which can result in a number of diseases and cancers if not properly handled or treated? Are they going to do a both sides segment on that? Nah. Just the fucking trannies. That's it. Any other medical condition? That's private. That's a doctor and a patient. The trannies, fuck them. Both sides, bro. when you've got one neo-Nazi eugenicist in a room, and you've got and you've got someone else who doesn't identify as a neo-Nazi eugenicist, but is best friends with the neo-Nazi eugenicist, you got two motherfucking neo-Nazi eugenicists having a fun conversation, and one of them is playing devil's advocate. So that's what Rising is. Two neo-Nazis, and one of them plays devil's advocate. Asshole cat. It's because kids are fucking stupid, Mario and love ya plush masters. Kids are fucking stupid. All right, y'all. I'm going to jump into another groomer segment. So Matt Walsh, one of the biggest groomers in, I don't know if he's in mainstream media per se, but in very prominent media circles. I don't know. I consider any like media outlet that has billionaire funding, I think that would be the definition of mainstream. I don't know. That's my opinion. But Matt Walsh is someone who says that all LGBTQ people are groomers. But many, many times this guy has said very strange things on subjects like the age of consent in this country. Many, many times. And so we have a couple of videos here I want to play that I want to go into. And I want to click this. So these are some videos from Matt Walsh that were posted by the Serfs on Twitter. Good find from the Serfs. I will say this. I have the Serfs blocked typically, but these were sent to me. I don't like the Serfs. You know, if anyone wants to know why, I wouldn't mind telling you, but I don't want to make this video about my dislike for them. I think they're garbage personally, but that's my opinion. Either way, good find from them. Let's watch this very strange video of Matt Walsh sitting in a car on the side of a highway, it seems, some major road, sitting on a car, talking about the age of consent and how confusing it is. Now, again, I know, like, sitting in the car is, like, a video motif. I get it. But, like, imagine, like, having, like, you just can't wait. You just had, like, a banger thought about the age of consent that you had to pull over on the interstate to get it out. Let's watch.
Minds, we have really two categories. There are non-consensual sex, which is bad, and then we have consensual sex, which we think is always good. That's what the culture says. That's what we.
Okay, so first of all, we're 10 seconds in. First of all, who is we? I don't know who we is, and I don't know who the culture is. But I will tell you this. I have had quite a few consensual sex experiences in my lifetime. And I'm sure that anybody who has had a few consensual sex experiences can tell you not all consensual sex is good. Does that mean it's not consensual? No. Does that mean it's rape? No. But I've had lots of consensual sex experiences that aren't that good. Sometimes they're mediocre. Sometimes it's just like, sometimes, whatever. So the idea that, like, this guy is going to present this as if, like, everyone loves having consent, like, the act of consent is what makes it hot. Like, no, the act of consent is what allows you to continue. But anyway, let's continue.
A lot of us have, most of us, it seems like that's the idea that we have. It's like, as long as there's...
Now, again, I have talked outside of, like, virgins and pedophiles, and I'm not trying to throw virgins and pedophiles in the same category. I'm just saying pedophiles enjoy lack of consent, and virgins, they just don't have enough experience to comment on the issue, right? So I'm not trying to put them in the same category. But outside of virgins and pedophiles, I think everyone who's ever had consensual sex would agree that not all consensual sex is good, okay? Like, this idea, like, I don't know, man, who is out there saying that yes, all consensual sex is the hottest thing in the world. No one has said that. Everyone I've ever met who's had multiple, rounds of consensual sex has told me, yeah, every once in a while, you find someone, you might think it works out, but, maybe it's mediocre, maybe it's not so good, whatever. It's, there's a multitude of possibilities. But, like, this idea that, like, the culture, what is the culture? I don't know what is the culture? I'm not sure. But again, anyone who would have a differing opinion here would fall into the category of virgins or pedophiles. And again, those are not the same things, just to be ultimately clear. But I don't know what the fuck this guy is talking about. I don't know where he got this from. I'm an ultra left-winger. I'm a super left-winger. I am such an SJW that, like, those SJWs you were seeing in 2016 with the red hair, I'm like, that's like the larva form of Cell in the Dragon Ball series, and I'm like the perfect Cell version of the SJW. So,
consenting adults who choose to do this thing, then it must be okay. But the reality is that there's a lot of bad sex. There's a lot of immoral.
Oh, whoa! Breaking news! There's bad sex. Wow. This guy is coming out here and telling us the truth. Not all sex is great. Whoa. Whoa! Earth-shattering. But again, it's not bad sex for the reason you think it is. It's not bad sex because someone comes too early and then falls asleep. No. It's bad sex because God classified it as immoral or some stupid shit. Let's check this out. Let's find out why the pedophile thinks it's bad sex.
Bad sex. There's a lot of immoral sex. There's a lot of disordered, gross, harmful sex that is nonetheless consensual. All of
Whoa! Breaking news again. Breaking news. Whoa! No one's ever heard this theory before.
Cases that I mentioned. All the cases I mentioned, they're all immoral, bad, gross, harmful.
Now, again, what is immoral here? Bad? I've had bad sex. Gross? I don't know what gross even means. I don't know. I've never really engaged in a sexual experience where I'm like, ew, that's gross. But, I mean, I'm sure it's possible. If someone, like, pukes, during a, whatever. It's possible. I've never experienced it. Harmful? I don't know. Sometimes I like harmful sex. Hey, I'm just saying, harmful sex sometimes, most times, harmful sex, pretty good. I'm just saying. But let's continue.
Immoral, bad, gross, harmful. But they're not all rape. Some of them were. Not all of them. And until we acknowledge that there are other ways to have immoral sexual relations with a person, until we reclaim sexual morality and sexual boundaries, we will be stuck trying to condemn all bad sex on the grounds of consent.
What is this guy talking? Like, what does consent have to do with this? What does consent have to do with any of this? Why is he bringing up consent? Well, the answer is because in this video, he's going to defend pedophiles. That's the answer. This video, and the whole reason he pulled over on the side of the interstate was because he had such a huge, amazing idea of I finally figured out how to defend the pedophile, right? By confusing what consent means. Consent just means, all right, do we both want to fuck? All right, great, let's fuck. And then whatever happens after that happens, right? But consent is ongoing, right? So, if you consent, all right, let's fuck, and then someone's trying to fuck you somewhere, you don't want to be fucked, and you say, hey, please don't fuck me there, and they do it anyway, then the consent is violated, right? So consent is an ongoing process. But again, you can consent to sex and then, not really enjoy it, but you want to finish it, or, whatever. That's a thing that's happened, I'm sure, to many people. But again, that doesn't mean the consent is a fundamentally bad rule of thumb. And what is his argument? The argument is he wants to confuse what consent is. Consent's not really that important. You ever been raped and then you secretly like it? Huh? What?
which expands the idea of consent so broadly as to render it meaningless, so that when we really need it, when there is actual non-consensual sex happening, we don't have any meaningful way to describe it, because the word consent has become is increasingly means nothing.
What? Like, okay. So what, like, again, what is this guy saying? I mean, again, this is like the guy who's pushing all LGBTQ people are pedophiles and groomers, and he's pulling over on an interstate to defend a pedophile Republican. And the way he's defending him is by making consent seem confusing, because people can have consensual sexual relationships that maybe not all the time is fulfilling. Like, what? So someone can consent to having sex and it's not the best sex they've ever had, therefore consent's the problem? Now, again, there's only two groups of people, and again, they are not in any capacity similar other than the fact that they, in this specific instance, are together in their idea of not, you know, fully understanding the issue. Virgins, they don't have sex, or they haven't yet, so they probably don't know what we're talking about. And pedophiles who love non-consensual sex. So, now again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Matt Walsh is a virgin or a pedophile, but based on this video, he's got to be one of them. Like, there's only really, because this guy, like, or a rapist, I guess that's the other category, right? Or rapist. But like, what kind of motherfucker who's had many consensual sexual relationships is going to go out there and say, I don't understand consent? Like, tell me. I want to know. I'm striving for this knowledge. But anyway.
Because we've expanded it so much. And we've turned it into...
Yo, that red car was pretty close to him. Look at this. Like, where is he? Like, look back here. Look how close this red car is. Like, that's pretty close. It's not that close, right? He's not in danger of getting in an accident. But he seems like he's on, like, a highway that has, like, a really small shoulder. Why does he... Like, what the fuck's... Like, this was so important. Defending pedophiles was so important to him. Then he needed to pull the fuck over on a major road. He's almost getting hit here.
And we've turned it into this complicated equation where nobody really knows when consent is happening. And even if a person does something willingly and is like, yes, let's do this. But even that might not be consent, because we've turned consent into this super...
Now again, I don't know who we is, but I think his usage of the word we is a little telling. We turned consent into some weird thing? I don't know about the we thing here, okay? I don't know about the we. Maybe you. But the we... count me out of that one, okay, Jack?
Confusing calculus.
So it's a... So the key phrase here is that consent is confusing. Consent's confusing. Is it? Is it? Is consent really confusing? Now again, you know, anybody in the chat who wants to weigh in on this, have you ever had consensual sex where the confusion stemmed from consent? Like, I've had a lot of sex where I've been confused, maybe. Like, whoa, I never thought that, whoa. You know, maybe I've been confused a little bit. But the confusion did not stem from consent. I was not confused about consent. That was never the confusing part. Like what is the... I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, there's another video I want to show here. This is 4 years old. And this one is even weirder. Now, again, on the subject of pedophiles and groomers, this is a very strange clip. Let's watch.
So it's no surprise that Planned Parenthood helps cover up rapes, helps rapists cover up their crimes. We've known this. It's logically obvious anyway, because there is one incontrovertible way to prove that, for instance, a father has raped his daughter. but abortion gives the rapist scumbag father the means to destroy that evidence. And this is kind of the morbid irony of everything, is that the abortion enthusiasts will always cite rape and incest as—
I love the term abortion enthusiast, by the way. That's like the best thing he's ever said. I'm an abortion enthusiast. I want more abortions. We have too many dumb motherfuckers on this planet. I'm enthusiastic. When like I want to be like, you know, like the fucking like Flavor Flav of the Planned Parenthood. Like I want to be in like the fucking waiting room, right? And being like, woo! When they're getting the abortions. I want to be like, yeah! Like that's me. I'm the abortion enthusiast. Abortion enthusiast. Oh my god. Anyway, let's back up a little.
Everything is that the abortion enthusiasts will always cite rape and incest as proof that abortion is necessary. They're the ones always bringing up rape and incest, rape and incest. But abortion is also precisely the thing that empowers incestuous rapists to continue. Abortion doesn't...
Because the only way to prove rape occurred is by having a child at the age of 13. That's the only way to prove it. That's the only way. That's the only way. DNA evidence? Nah. Rape kit? Nah. Abortion is covering up rape. Like, what? Now again, this is a 4-year-old video. The other one is like sometime this year, last year. You can tell because of the beard. He's been growing it out for a while. But again, if you ever meet a man, to all the women out there, if you ever meet a man like this, who's on the side of the road, now he's like behind a brick building. Why is he behind the building, parked in his car? I don't know. He makes frequent habit of like parking in really secluded locations for some reason. Very strange. But if you ever meet a man who's parked behind a brick building with a bunch of trees kind of like giving him camouflage, and he's in his car and he's staring out the windshield talking about 12-year-olds being raped, I recommend the fake phone number and fake address routine and get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. That's what I recommend. Whatever you need to do to get out of that situation, get out immediately. Especially to all the single mothers out there. Single mothers especially. You meet a man like this, they're not interested in you, okay?
Empower the victims, it empowers the predators. The victim has already been victimized by the time the abortion comes into play. Abortion is not going to erase that. All it's going to do is create another victim. But from the perspective of the rapist, abortion is wonderful, because it means that they won't be held accountable and they can continue raping.
Now, this is why rapists, quote unquote, continue raping. Now, again, real quick, do you remember when the 3rd police precinct in the city of Minneapolis was, quote unquote, burned down? Do you remember that? And then the Minneapolis Police Department made a big deal of all the rape kits were burned. The rape kits from the 1970s. We had rape kits and now they're all gone. But wait a second. Whoa, you had rape kits from the 1970s that are gone now? Rape kits from the 1990s? Rape kits from 15 years ago that were burned down? Motherfucker, why was there a rape kit in that police station for 40 years? What was it doing there, and why didn't you process it for 40 fucking years? You know what I mean? Like, what? No, the only way to prove who the rapist is to force someone who can barely handle a pregnancy to begin with to go through the pregnancy and risk death. To risk death for a child that, if that child is born, is most likely going to have a fucked up life. That's the only way to go after rapists. That's the only way.
Financially, rape is good for business. So maybe in that sense, actually, financially, rape is good for business. So maybe in that sense, actually, maybe I should backtrack. Yeah, let me take that back. I just gave Planned Parenthood a little bit too much credit. No, they do like rape. They actually do support rape, because rape is so good for business. It brings in money. And repeated rape, especially the repeated rape of a child by a family member, is extremely good for business because it's a sustained revenue source. So when Planned Parenthood looks at a pregnant, raped 13-year-old girl, all they see is dollar signs. They see a sustained revenue source, and they know they're going to get 3, 4, maybe 5 abortions out of this girl by the time she turns 18.
Now, again, just in case you didn't know, Planned Parenthood does a lot more than abortions. I think I read a statistic that about 2-ish% of what Planned Parenthood does. Now, again, what is Planned Parenthood? What is it? It's Planned Parenthood. Right? So about 2% of what they do are abortions. And most of what they do is actually help new parents raise their children. That's 98% of Planned Parenthood. I don't know about 98. They also do like LGBTQ stuff as well and all that stuff. So maybe not. But about 90% of Planned Parenthood is helping new, oftentimes young parents raise their children, giving them a little help, helping them with, with affording certain things, if their child has some sort of disease, to help them find what food is best for them, that kind of stuff. So I would say someone having a child and then going to Planned Parenthood and helping and being helped raise that child for 10 years theoretically is probably a little bit more of a stable revenue source. Because once you have the kid's alive. Once you have an abortion, again, just by this guy's logic, the chances of your child going from age 0 to 1 is more likely than someone being raped, having an abortion, being raped again, and getting another abortion. Statistically speaking, that's more, right? So, what? What?
And so that's a lot of money. Hey, it's Christmas bonuses for the entire staff.
So again, I don't like the serfs, personally. But these are good videos that they're posting, and it's good propaganda to show why people like this are not an authority figure on anything. Consent is confusing? What? How is consent confusing? How is consent confusing? The only way for 12-year-olds to get peace is to raise a baby at the age of 13, 14? That's strange. That is strange, very strange stuff coming from the guy who's going to call people like me a groomer. I'm a groomer now, apparently, because this guy said so. This guy said so. This guy is calling me a groomer. The guy who said 12-year-olds need to be forced to carry out pregnancies, and that consent is confusing, and that age of consent is confusing. This is the guy who's going to call anyone else a groomer. Okay. All right, sure. Very strange stuff. Very strange stuff. So, let's see what we have here. All right. We're going to be jumping into a movie review in a little bit. Going to be jumping into a film review. We're going to be jumping into that pretty soon. Why don't I like the serfs? The serfs engaged and enabled a transphobic Kiwi Farms campaign that targeted me yesterday and have never apologized for it. They signal boosted Jimmy Dore and 4chan accounts that targeted me based on lies and Kiwi Farms garbage. They enabled it, they retweeted it, they supported it, and then never apologized. So yes, I don't like the serfs for a personal reason. If you like them, that's fine. It's whatever. But that's why I don't like them. I think they're garbage. So for that reason, and then earlier this year they're like, oh, drop Kiwi Farms. Okay, sure, buddy. Okay. And again, I'm the kind of person, actions speak louder than words. That's my opinion. So, I don't want to make a big deal about it. It's whatever. I'm sure they don't even remember doing that. I'm sure to them it was irrelevant. you know, I don't care. But that I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I don't care about them. I think they're garbage. That said, they posted a good video, so I'm going to talk about it. No, Anastasia, they retweeted and enabled and endorsed it. So, like first of all, like, the Surfs followed me. Now, again, I'm not trying to be a drama. I'm not trying to call anyone out. So if anyone, like, takes this video and, like, and tries to make a big deal out about this, I'll be pissed. So this is not a call out. I don't want to engage in drama. I don't want to engage in a battle of ideas. That's not the intent here. But they used to follow me. I've known the Surfs longer than anyone else in this media ecosystem because I found them on the cryptocurrency website Steemit. They were posting there many, many years ago. We were the only two left-wingers on that website. So I've known them for a long time. They followed me. You know, we've signal boosted each other. And then as soon as the Kiwi Farms campaign came around, the 4chan Jimmy Dore campaigns, they signal boosted the Jimmy Dore 4chaners, enabled it, right? You know, not doing anything to combat it, signal boosted it, unfollowed me, did all this fucking crazy ass bullshit. Personally, I think Lance is a clout chaser. That's my opinion. I don't think he cares at all about individuals. I think he cares just about branding himself. I think he cares about just becoming a media guy. That's my opinion. That's my read of the situation. So, but again, anybody that takes this and tries to make it a thing, I'll be pissed about it too. And that's not to say that, you know, that being the case, you can be a clout chaser and a content farmer and still post good things every once in a while. That's fine. But my opinion, I have never been apologized to. So up until that moment, I don't like them. So, and I'm sure they would. I don't care. That's not, you know, whatever. But anyway, we're going to be jumping into a movie review. We're going to be reviewing a film, a filmographic experience. An experience, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. I don't even know how to say it. I don't even know. I honestly don't know if words exist in the English language to properly explain what I'm about to talk about. Is it a movie? Is it a film? Is it a show? What is it? I don't know. That's right, everyone. I'm talking about The Viewing. This is Panos Cosmatos' third film. If you could call it a film. It's a short film, I guess. Of course, the director of two of my favorite movies, Beyond the Black Rainbow and Mandy. 3 for 3 on this guy. I'm not going to lie. 3 for 3 on Cosmatos. Probably the best director of all time. Now, again, Kubrick. I love Kubrick, okay? So we'll see what Cosmatos can do, given a couple more films. But this fucking shit, I was doing some magic-ass mushrooms yesterday. I watched this shit. I was in, man. 3 for 3. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking to myself, there's no way. There's no, I mean, this is like, you know, Cosmatos does like 2-hour movies. There's no way he can do a 50-minute movie and it's as good as Mandy. There's no way he can do a 50-minute film. It's as good as Beyond the Black Rainbow. Not going to happen. I didn't actually think that. I was expecting this to be, but I'm just saying, like, no, this one, is it better? No, I don't think. It's a horizontal thing here. That's the thing, Liz. Everything that Panos does is S tier. S tier. I mean, this is like, I've watched Beyond the Black Rainbow a couple times. I've watched Mandy like 3 or 4 times. Right? I've watched this once. I'm going to watch it again at some point. Wow. I mean, I don't even, like, I can't even review the movie. What is there to review? You just have to watch it. As I said in my Beyond the Black Rainbow and my Mandy reviews, you just have to watch them. There's no, like, it's amazing. So, this is part of the Cabinet of Curiosities Netflix series from Guillermo del Toro. I haven't watched any of the other ones yet. Maybe I will. I'm not sure. This is the only one going into the list. This is the only one I was interested in. A third Panos film. Holy fuck. So this whole movie, right? I mean, like, again, I was on a lot of drugs watching this movie. And so this movie, I can confidently say, can be split into two parts. There's the drug party scene, and then there's the viewing. So it's called the viewing, right? So there's a rich guy, and he, like, asks for, like, artists. Like, one's an astrophysicist, one's a musician, an author, one's a psychic. And he invites them to his secret compound, right? So they have to meet in, like, a parking garage and then be driven there. And because he respects them as artists and wants their help to try to figure out what he has some object, he doesn't know what it is, and he wants his artists, because these are the people he respects the most, he wants them to figure out what the fuck it is. And so the first part of this movie is the drug scene. And again, we're talking like, okay, this is in the same sense, this movie is descriptive of, like, how I would introduce a Panos Cosmatos film to another person, right? If I'm introducing Mandy or Beyond the Black Rainbow to another motherfucker, I'm like, here, take a couple inches of magic mushrooms, wait a couple minutes, and then let's watch the movie. That every time I've introduced anyone to a Cosmatos film, that's been how I do it. That's what this movie is. So this guy brings a bunch of his favorite artists to, like, a secret billionaire, like, compound, right? And then, like, feeds them a specific amount of drugs. And, there's, like, cocaine, there's, like, marijuana, there's cigarettes, there's alcohol, and it's very, very specific. And then, and he's peer pressuring the shit out of them, because there's, like, a couple guys who are like, I've never tried this before, I'm so nervous. And then he's like, no, you got to do it, motherfucker. So anyway, so they all get hopped up on the super drugs, and that's the first half of the film. And then the viewing. So you got to be in the right state of mind. And that's what this movie, what this movie's lesson is that there's certain ways to enter into an experience, right? Now, you can be lame and enter in an experience sober, like a loser, or you can be cool and do some super cocaine and then go look at this fucking rock, right? So anyway, so he gets them all hopped up on super drugs, and then they go look at a rock. And he's thinking, so he's like a billionaire, he doesn't know what this fucking rock is, and he's like, maybe these guys will know. And so they get in there. One of them is like, the astrophysicist is like, this is like a material we've never seen on Earth. And then the psychic guy is like, oh, I'm getting some crazy shit here. And then there's like an author who's like, he's like calling this out. He's like, oh, this is a bunch of bullshit. I don't care. Thanks for the super cocaine. That was cool. But I love that guy. That guy was great. He gets his head blown up by the power. I don't want to. If you let me spoil this, by the way, I mean, I should have said spoiler alert, but I mean, I don't even know, like, can I spoil this? I can spoil the plot, maybe, but, like, is that, you can't really spoil a Panos film? Like, okay, here's the spoilers for Mandy. Nicolas Cage gets pissed and goes to kill a bunch of Cenobites? Spoiler! No, that's not a spoiler. Go watch the fucking movie. You gotta watch the goddamn movie. So anyway, so they go in, they see this rock, and then, something happens, and then, boom. I mean, look at the title, something happens there. Wow. I mean, just this movie and all of Cosmatos' movies, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. But I don't want to sit here and tell you to do drugs, because that's wrong. That's illegal. Unless you look it up. If you live in the United States, look up list of cities that have decriminalized magic mushrooms and other psychedelics. Colorado just voted statewide to decriminalize magic mushrooms. Oregon has decriminalized magic mushrooms. Cities in the state of Michigan have decriminalized magic mushrooms. In the state of California Massachusetts. I'm just saying, throwing that out there. So if you go to those cities, it's no longer illegal. And then you can do whatever you want. Like, watch this guy's movies, right? So I'm just saying. The thing I like about this movie is it places emphasis on, like, the mindset when you enter an experience, right? Like, and that's, like, I love that. Like, whenever, like, if I'm showing someone a movie, like, you know, like, I've shown people Mandy before, and it's like, you know, here's your super drugs. Wait a couple minutes, let them kick in, and then we'll watch the movie. You know, like, and it's just great. I love that theme. I love the idea. And the art, right? Like, this guy, I don't even know what to say. I'm a fangirl. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fucking mega fan. I'm a super fan. I'm a mega hyper ultra fan of this motherfucker. 3 for 3. They're all bangers. Right? I'm excited for Necrocosm, which is going to be his next film, but I mean, it's just so good. Like, one of my favorite parts of this movie is how the lights, every light in the movie is like a huge horizontal line. Every light in the movie the whole time is a giant horizontal line that takes up most of the screen. And I love it. I love it. The lighting. God, the lighting. I love it. I love it. The room that they're sitting in when they do the super drugs. Oh, with that weird, like, fucking sound thing in the ceiling. Oh! It was all so good. I mean, the visuals. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on the visuals. The music. 10 out of 10 on the music. I don't even... Like, that's the thing is, like, this guy's movies are so good that, like, a 10-point scale is doing it disservice. Oh, 10 out of 10. What? Really? That's it? Like, this guy's movies are so good that we need to reinvent what a scale would be to rank a movie. We need to reinvent it. We need to come up with another system. Like, I want to just say, like, knee-jerk 11 out of 10, but that's a Band-Aid solution. Like, you would need to invent a new language to and work really hard. Like, you know that movie Arrival with the aliens and how they have that new language and shit? You need to create, like, a language like that or something to properly encapsulate how good this fucking goddamn movie is and how all of this guy's movies are. My God, man. Like, I'm telling you, I was fucked up. Like, so the first half of the movie is just, like, drug propaganda, right? Like they're passing around, like, you know, so they get into this rich guy's place and they're waiting for him to get ready. But, like, at the table are all of their favorite drinks, right? Because, like, he's like a super fan, like the billionaire guy is like a super fan of these guys' art or whatever. And so I guess he's followed them to the point where, like, you know, they may have said, oh, my favorite drink is this in an interview or whatever. So anyway, all of their favorite alcoholic beverages are there. And, like, the best part about it, one of my favorite parts, is, like, each one, they have, like, a super specific alcohol, right? And then the British guy is like, oh, an ice cold beer, how refreshing. Like, everyone else is, like, going into in-depth detail about their favorite alcohol and how, like, specific it is and how the billionaire got it right and how did he do that. And then the British guy is like, oh, a refreshing beer. Like, I interpret that as, like, Cosmatos thinks beer is annoying and that beer is not worth learning about. Like, this motherfucker had, like, a fucking 2-minute long monologue to introduce, like, the whiskey. Like, it fell off of a plane in World War II or some shit, and then, like, it floated in, like, the fucking Gulf or some shit happened. Whatever. Right? And it's like, oh, a beer. and like, that's it. Like, everyone else is, like, describing it in depth. And then they introduce the super epic whiskey, and then, like, the cocaine. I love the cocaine scene where they're passing around the cocaine. Fuck, man, that was cool. Now, I've never done cocaine, but I love, like, the visuals, because I was really high on mushrooms. I don't even know if high is not a good word to describe for mushrooms, in my opinion, but... And so when they, like, were passing the cocaine around, and, like, I love seeing the powder fluff into the air. It was great. It was a really cool effect. That combined with the horizontal lighting, very nice, very enjoyable. And just, like, the depth of the super drugs and the descriptions of them, I enjoyed. So anyway, Then they're sufficiently fucked up and they go look at The Rock. And then it's like The Rock is just cool as fuck. Like it's some highly detailed like it reminded me of like some like, you know, ancient like Chinese like totem or some shit. Like it was just like an extremely detailed rock. And it's just like they're all like, whoa, and I don't want to tell you the ending, but the ending, the ending when like the nerdy astrophysicist, who's my favorite character by the way, the like super nerd who like loves drugs. Well, she was like a little nervous for the cocaine, but like I love the idea of a super nerd who does drugs. So that's me. That's my personality type. But when she's fucked up on the cocaine and she's driving that like sports car at like 200 miles per hour, that was really cool. And then and then when the other guy in the fucking passenger seats like mouth is going like, oh, like, I love that shit, man. This movie was great. You got to watch The Viewing. You got to watch it. But before you watch The Viewing, watch Beyond the Black Rainbow, watch Mandy, and then watch The Viewing. That's like a 5-hour experience there. How long is the average magic mushroom experience? About 5 hours. So hey, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. If you want to have a good time, you know, I don't even know what to say. 3 for 3, 6 for 3, 12 for 3. This guy has made 3 movies and they're all good. They're not all good. They're all perfect to the point where we need to create a new language to describe just how good they are. I don't even know what to say. Like, I like Kubrick films. I think Kubrick films in the artsy department, like, you know, really high art value in that sense. This is like a modern version of that, but way better. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, the idea that I could be living my life for like another 20 to 30 years and that this guy could be making movies for that entire time. Jesus Christ, man. Like, if I were to tell you my favorite movies, Mandy is on that list. One of the best movies I've ever seen, if not the best. Now, again, my favorite movie is The Muppet Movie, and that's just because of nostalgic reasons. But if I were to give you an honest, like, what is the best movie I've ever seen, not just my personal favorite, Mandy. Mandy is the best movie I've ever seen. But then I'm like, wait a second, what about Beyond the Black Rainbow? Because everyone's seen Mandy. If you haven't seen Mandy, you're a fucking idiot, right? It's got Nicolas Cage. What about Beyond the Black Rainbow? So like the hipster in me wants to say Beyond the Black Rainbow. They're both so fucking good. And then now I'm going to tell people you got to watch The Viewing. Holy fucking shit, man. This guy, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is more like this video that I'm making right now is less of a movie review of The Viewing and more of just like me being a screeching fangirl of the director. Like, Jesus Christ, this guy is amazing. Like, this guy, like, wow. Like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you this. It takes a lot of effort to turn me into a fangirl. Okay, I'm telling you, this guy. I'm telling you, if you have not seen Panos Cosmatos Works, you got to. Like, that's it. But again, as if you watch The Viewing, as you would know, watching a movie sober. Now, again, if you're one of those people, that's fine. It's all good. It's better to watch the movie sober than not at all. That said, mushrooms, man, I'm telling you, or any other psychedelic, I'm just saying, like, Beyond the Black Rainbow, Mandy, The Viewing, watch them all in one setting. I might watch them all in one setting at some point. I like whenever this series is released in physical media, I'm gonna buy it just for this. I might never even watch the other Cabinet of Curiosities, to be honest. Maybe I will, I'm not sure. But The Viewing, I'm gonna buy this on physical media, wherever it is, however it's released. This is a must-own. You have to have it. You have to have Mandy. You have to have Beyond the Black Rainbow. It's that simple. You have to watch it. There's no option. You are not a human being. You're not a complete human being until you've seen those fucking movies. Man, I don't know what to tell you. In fact, I'm about to stop the stream and go watch them all again right now. Right now. They're that good. They're that good. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I have nothing to say. There's no, like, once again, there are no words in the English language that could properly encapsulate how good this is. Like, there's no words in any human language. Not only not only, I will tell you this, not only would we have to create a new language to be able to properly encapsulate how good this guy's art is, but we would have to create like cyberpunk, we'd have to create like cybernetic like body enhancements, because like the way our bodies are designed with the mouth, the tongue, the teeth, and the throat and the vocal cords is not enough possible, variation. We need to create an entirely new like system, a physical body that could create a multitude of different sounds and then combine those sounds into another language just to be able to describe how good this movie is, because there's no other way to do so. You just can't. And anyone who's seen it, especially anyone who's seen it while you're tripping, you would agree with me. I'm just telling you. You might not know what I'm talking about right now. Go get yourself some fungus, watch this guy's movies, come back to me, post in my chat, hey Andrea, just watched Mandy on mushrooms. You were right. That's all I need to hear. Hey, just watch The Viewing on mushrooms. Wow. I agree with whatever you just said completely. That's the only way you're going to know. I don't know. Don't forget Beyond the Black Rainbow. Because that movie's good as fuck too. They're all good. Now again, I love Nicolas Cage, so I might say I like Mandy more. But then again, the hipster in me is like, no, they're all perfect. They're all perfect. This guy, you gotta pay attention to Cosmatos. I'm telling you this right now. You gotta pay attention to Cosmatos. You just have to. This is the best active director. I love Christopher Nolan. I love Inception. I love Tenet. I love all of his movies that I've seen. Cosmatos, it's another level. I'm telling you this. Inception is an excellent movie. Top 5 of my favorite movies for sure. But you want to know what's above it? You want to know what else is in the top 5? All 3 of Cosmatos' movies and the Muppet movie, motherfucker. That's what else is in top 5. So, I'm just like, I don't know. I think I've gone on enough. But if I haven't properly explained why you need to see these films, you are a lost soul, motherfucker. You got to watch this movie. So, The Viewing, man. Holy shit. Anyway, that's the show. I'd like to say thank you to the people out there. I'd like to say thank you to the people. I have a little asterisk next to people, and then in the footnote it says get the list before I do this, but I forgot to do that, so I'd like to say thank you to the list of people that I never compiled. So thank you to the people and the folks out there, and the folks. Folks, of course, being spelled Folks. Some people say folks. I say folks now and then, but some people say folks, like Fokes. It's not a word. There is no folks. Yeah, so anyway. By the way, I have nothing on any of these. I'm sure that was obvious, but I have nothing on any of these. Did I notice the gift subs earlier in the show? I did, but I have short-term memory loss because I did a lot of weed yesterday, so I apologize. I also noticed I got a super chat from Andrew Kohler. I was going to recommend you watch this. You don't need to recommend it to me. Like, it's that simple. But thank you, and thank you for the gift, subscribers. I apologize. I try to not mention it in the middle of the segment. I like to do it in between, but then I forget. So sometimes, and I'm all fucked up. So, I'm all fucked up. But thank you. I do appreciate it. And I appreciate it. No waddies. I agree. No waddies. Anyone know the episode number? I think Lindsay responded to you earlier, Bob. You goddamn idiot. No. Just scroll up, motherfucker. Now Lindsay out here doing the same thing multiple times. You know, like a hard-working moderator, except Lindsay's not a moderator in this chat, so, you know, not even, there's no reason to do that, but she's working hard. Number 7, also 7 minutes behind. I don't know why. But anyway, that's it. That's the show. I'd like to say thank you. Feel free to share my program. If you'd like, feel free to share my program. Or don't. Whatever. You know, I aspire for people to be as much of a fan of me as I am of Panos Cosmatos movies. That's what I... Like, whatever feelings and emotions I feel toward Mandy, Beyond the Black Rainbow, and The Viewing, I can only aspire to have people feel about me. And so, with that in mind, go share my shit. Or don't. Or don't. You don't have to. But you know you want to. You know you want to. My hair looks super good today. I actually brushed the shit out of my hair yesterday. I've been having a lot of bad hair days because I don't brush it much, and I've been doing a lot of things that would make my hair get all messy and fucked up. And yesterday when I was on the shrooms, I was like doing this the whole time. You know, I was just getting all the knots out. I barely even remember doing it, but after my shrooms, I had like perfectly straight hair, and I was like, whoa. You know, so now, there you go. But anyway, that's it. That's the program. I'm just filibustering here. I got nothing left. That's all I got. I'm just farming the watch time at this moment. This is just farming some watch hours. Let's get that sad rev, you know? Look at this animal. Are you seeing this shit? Is this visible? Max, are you visible? You see his tail move? You see how it just smacks his tail? Are you seeing this dog? Like, is this visible to you? To all the audio listeners out there, what the fuck? You gotta look at this. This is what I call Max the dog. Look, he just moved his tail again. You see that? And are you hearing the noise when he slams his tail against the wood? Max, do it again. Max, one more time. Do it again, Max. Why he's wise to my scheme. Max, why are you wise? Oh. Oh! Alright. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Have a good one. I will see y'all later. Oh, I almost blew your eardrums out because I still have my bullshit on. Alright. Bye-bye!
Everybody comes in, your grandmother, your father, your mother, your brother, your cousins. They come in so easily, so crazy, so crazy. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Dub is a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.